Let's make some UV resin earrings together. I found these cute little metal roses, and there's also some butterflies on Amazon, and I can link the description below. That's what I'm going to be using, and some dried flowers for this project. So first I just put a very thin layer of UV resin in the bottom of the mold. This is a very tiny mold because they're for stud earrings. And then you'll just put your little metal roses right into the resin. I used a toothpick. You can use tweezers, whatever's easiest. This is the easiest way I found because they're very thin and they're hard to pick up. So just however you find it easier to get it in there. Then use your lighter to pop any bubbles. Do it quickly so you won't damage your mold. And put it under the UV Resin Light for about 30 seconds. There's going to be more layers going on top. So what I did is I mixed some UV resin with some white mica powder and did the next layer. And that's going to make it so your earring back won't show through in the front of your earring. That's why I put the white there. So I already put some UV resin in this mold, and I'm going to go ahead and put those metal pieces in there and put it under the UV light. You're using the same process for each of these, just putting different things in them. This is some forget-me-not flowers, and you get a whole container. It's a tiny container, but there's so many flowers in it because they're so tiny, and this will last forever. So I wanted to use these in my stud earrings because I thought they were really pretty. So I've already put the resin in there, and then add your flower. And these are little butterflies. They're half butterflies. And for those, I wanted to put the butterfly in there in the corner, and then I put the forget-me-not flower on top of them so it looks like the butterfly's landing on the flower, and they turned out really cute. There's so many ways you can design these, and that's the fun part because you can use it as an artistic outlet. Just design them however you like. This is just an idea. See how I'm putting the flower there? So it'll look like the butterfly's landing on it. The toothpick, if it has resin on it, works really well to pick up these flowers because they're really thin and light. And just make sure you arrange it to where you want it to be because once you set it with the UV light, there's no moving it. I am putting a little bit more on top to cover the back of that flower. The toothpick is my best friend. I use it in most of my resin projects. That flower looked really translucent, so that's why I changed it out. I don't know, must have been too thin. So here's some tweezers. I had these flowers on a stem, and I cut the stems off, or cut the flowers off the stem. And I'm going to do something cute with these earrings. I think these actually turned out to be my favorite ones out of this batch. So you just arrange your flower. I really love this purple color too. And some of them completely came off the stem, and I just used those. Just make sure you're making them look like they match. And these are also hard to pick up. You can see I was struggling. When they're really thin like that, sometimes the resin does help if you get it on the toothpick. So what I decided to do with these is put the purple flower on top, and then on the bottom use some of the gold foil flakes, which I love how the gold foil flakes looks in resin. And I put that along the bottom, and I really love how they turned out. Something to know about when you're doing studs, it does take a lot of patience. I had someone comment that the mold was actually too small for them, but you know, it needs to be small because they're going to be stud earrings. You don't want giant stud earrings. So it takes a lot of patience. It's very tiny, and it's a delicate process. So, you know, be prepared to do that if you're going to undertake this project. But if you take the time to go ahead and put all the little details into them, they turn out really beautiful. So this is how I put the gold foil flakes in. and then I'll put it under the UV light for about a minute. And then I didn't show it in the video, but I did go ahead and mix some UV resin with some white mica powder and do a very thin layer so the backs won't show through the front of the earring. And now I'm going to just place the earring back directly onto the earring while it's in the mold, and very carefully fill the mold the rest of the way with the UV resin. Don't overfill it, or you'll make a mess and it's hard to clean up. So, very carefully drop that UV resin to fill the rest of the mold. This is a new way that I tried based on someone's comment that they gave me, and it works really well. And I do like it. In a couple of my other videos, you'll see me doing it another way. And my opinion is they both work out well and they both have advantages. So would I do this again? Maybe. It depends on what mood I'm in, whether I want to clean all the stuff off the edges like this or whether I want to spend the time putting the backs on individually when they're out of the mold. So it just really depends on what your preference is. You could try it both ways and see which way you like the best. So this is where we just had the forget-me-not flowers in. This is my favorite one. It's the one where we did the purple flower with the gold foil flakes at the bottom of it. See how all these had those flakes on the outside? So I had to clean up each one individually. So that took a little bit of time as well. This is my seam ripper scissors for my sewing machine projects, and I always use it for resin if there's just like a little bit there. I don't like to sand resin if I don't have to, so if I can do it this way, I prefer it. Those are the half butterflies. And do you see how that white mica powder kept us from seeing the back of that earring? That's just a nice trick to make your earring look finished. So this is my finished project. If you like them, please like and subscribe. Look at all the other videos on my channel. I have a ton more. And I hope that you have a blessed day.